Renee and Michelle just came back from their trip to the market. Another successful day of bartering. They even managed to secure some decorations that went perfectly with the theme that they had for the baby's room. As they walked up the pathway toward their house, there was Pearline just standing there staring at them. "What's wrong, Mom?" Michelle asked. "Nothing, Mitch. I'm just amazed at how things have changed in ways I never really thought about until I noticed them. You know, in the old world, there would have been such a scandal with you two. Even in the congregation, the elders probably would have called you into a meeting with them." "Why, Mom? I don't understand." "The amount of time we're spending together. The fact that we're such close friends. The language we use when confirming our friendship. People would not have been able to believe that there wasn't something inappropriate going on between us. It is the simple result of our sinful nature at the time. Even when something isn't bad, we had a tendency to assume it was bad. I had forgotten about that until you mentioned it. Something else you should be thankful you've never experienced, Mitch." Renee said that name with a mischievous smile on his face. Michelle jokingly punched him in the arm. They had become fast friends over the course of Monica's pregnancy. It was now at the 9th month, and they knew the baby was coming at any day. Monica had a very particular list of things she wanted for the baby, a list that took Renee and Michelle far and wide to complete. Michelle first joined Renee on these trips because she loved scavenger hunts. Ever since her vacation in the jungle where she and Claude truly bonded, she's taken every opportunity to go on a scavenger hunt. But she soon became very fond of him. She could see why Monica fell in love with him. Her love for him was the perfect example of filial love. She viewed him like he was her favorite brother. Her mother was so glad that humans' ability to express love had been brought back into alignment with how Jehovah purposed it to be. The time for the birth of Monica's baby had come. She was experiencing contractions, but she felt no pressure, no pain. She remembered how pleasant this pregnancy was compared to how she heard pregnancies were in the old world. She maintained her relative figure, no swollen hands and ankles, just a basketball-sized belly. She didn't experience the morning sickness that every woman dreaded in the old world. No worries about the health of the baby during the pregnancy. She was able to sleep in comfort the whole time. No near sleepless nights spent tossing and turning with constant back pain. There was only the knowledge of the miracle of life. A life that was conceived inside of you. As those waves of pressure from the contractions came closer and closer together, she began to feel pain, but it was more like the pain you feel when you're lifting something very heavy and your muscles are already tired. She looked around at her room. It was beautiful. The sun was shining in the window. It illuminated the bright floral arrangement along the wall, which complemented the brightly colored geometric shapes painted on the wall. Pastel green, baby blue, and soft orange reflected the light back at her. Colors that normally would be called a decorating nightmare, but when you use them with a baby, it becomes very cute. And then she looked over at Renee, who was right there holding her hand. She appreciated how she no longer had to worry about possibly breaking his hand during the process of birth, something she is sure he appreciates too. He just stood there, looking at her with complete and utter love in his eyes. A couple of women, who were nurses in the old world, stood by as midwives to assist with the childbirth when the time came. When the time came to push, she did feel pressure, that she felt like she'd explode, but it was nothing like she'd heard about in childbirth in the old world. There was never any temptation to scream out because of her discomfort. The baby was born, the cord was cut, and the baby was washed. Another perfectly healthy baby boy. No worrying about whether the child would be able to breathe once he left the womb. No worrying about whether he'd grow up healthy, hovering over him, seeing if he's breathing while he's sleeping. So much stress has been taken out of raising a child. Now that the child was born, it was time to show young Hayden to all of their friends and family. Renee and Monica planned to bring little Hayden to everyone's home first, and then have a huge get-together at their house. First, they went to all the homes in their township.